Hello, it's Reviews Day Tuesday and it's the first Tuesday of the month, which means that it is time for Discworld Discourses. Today I'm going to be talking about Mort, which is the fourth book in the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett. In this book we meet Mort, a teenager who is taken to the local job fair by his father. At the end of the night, Death arrives and takes on Mort as his apprentice. Mort is a very popular Discworld book and is widely recommended as a good place to start the series. And you can see why. It's early on in the series, so you don't have that much to catch up on. We have a lot of new or newish characters in this book, including Mort and Kelly and Isabel. It's the first Discworld book to really feel like how the Discworld series will become when you're reading it. It's the first really good example of a Discworld book, I would say, and it's also less wizard heavy than the first three, so if the first books in the series didn't agree with you, it's the first of the books that might agree with you more. It's a nice change, but it's not too big of a change. I wouldn't say that it's my favourite Discworld book or one of my very favourite Discworld books. We have to go a bit further into the series before we reach the point at which I became really engrossed with Discworld. But Death is one of my very favourite characters in the Discworld series. Specifically, he is my second favourite character in the Discworld series, and this book gives me a lot of joy as the first in which he is a main character. I really love his attempts to learn about humans and to live among them. I find that whole aspect of the book so much fun. Mort is interesting as a character. I found him more annoying the first time I read this book, and he is at the start a bit, and when he's getting into trouble, and getting everyone else into trouble as well, but I do also find him endearing, especially this time round. He becomes more capable as the story progresses, and I love seeing him growing up over the course of the book. There's a lot of character growth there. We also have some fun female characters in Isabel and Princess Kelly. I remember these two as the first of the younger female characters that I related to or enjoyed reading, and I like the contrast between them as well. I find this Discworld book to be so far the one with the lightest touch. It's a very easy read and it's very funny. It's the first of the Discworld books that I laughed out loud when reading, and it's about death, and I love that contrast. And that's a feature that I love so much about the Discworld series, the way in which Pratchett addresses such topics, how he shines a light on things in our world through his fantastical world. And this is the first Discworld book where I really noticed that. The first three books seem so much more fantastical, so much further removed from us. Whereas to me, Mort is the first of the books where the Discworld doesn't feel quite so far away from our world. So, some trivia about Mort. In the BBC's Big Read, a public vote for the nation's best-loved book, Mort was in the top 100 and was the highest placed of all of the Terry Pratchett books. Mort has been adapted into a graphic novel, which I have here, and I think I'm going to read this again before I start on sorcery. It's also been adapted as a BBC radio play with Geoffrey Whitehead as Death, as a musical adaptation, and as a stage play by Stephen Briggs. It was also at one point planned as an animated film, but that was pulled due to rights issues. If you liked Mort, what should you read next? Reaper Man would be great, that's the next in the Death series, and Soul Music is the one after that in the Death series, and that's also very relevant. If you didn't get on too well with Mort, then you could move on with me to Sorcery, which is the next book in the Discworld series, or you could maybe try Guards. This is the first in the Watch series, and it will take you further away from wizards. I will give Mort 4.2 out of 5. My next Discworld Discourses will be in 2 weeks' time on the 19th of March 2019, and I will be reviewing Sorcery, the fifth book in the series. And if you want to see the full list of books and when I will be reviewing them, then I will, as usual, put the schedule in the description below. Let's move across to the end screen. If you would like to see my latest video or some more Discworld Discourses, then you can do so below me here. And you can also subscribe to my channel or visit my website if you should wish to beside me here. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you later on in the week.